Now, in one of your articles, you wrote that rebuilding Libya could prove to be an impossible task for the rebels. Why do you think so?
Well, first off, they're going to have to find Gaddafi, and and hopefully that will end a lot of resistance. Until then, they're going to have a major guerrilla war in their hand. Secondly, I think even if they do find Gaddafi, this is only the first stage of a multi-stage war in Libya. Now the tribes are going to fight each other over the oil revenues, or the Islamists are going to start fighting the National Transition Council. They already assassinated the head of the military. I think that's just the beginning of the problems.
Okay, you were talking about guerrilla warfare there. We've also been hearing reports of rebel attacks on black migrant workers. Now, do you think the situation in Libya is descending into anarchy, you know, with bloodletting and revenge attacks on the ground by rebels?
It's already descended into anarchy. The attacks on the blacks is not unexpected. Gaddafi recruited a lot of black fighters, as we know, mercenaries from Africa, but there's also a very deeply embedded racism in the Arab world against blacks to begin with. We still have slavery in the Sudan and Mauritania, northern Mali, Yemen, and even underground slavery in a place like Saudi Arabia. So they simply look at blacks as a lower species of human being. So killing them is, for a lot of some of these Arabs, wouldn't amount to any great, what how can I say it?
All right. One of the other things that you were mentioning earlier, that finding Gaddafi still has to be done. Well, Gaddafi's family has been sent away. What do you think is going to happen to him?
Well, the one who was sent away, I see this as a smart move on the part of Gaddafi, who wants to maintain power. So I think he's going to go underground and launch a guerrilla war. In a few months, when the rebel National Council, the tribes start fighting one another, he can make a political comeback. And now he's got part of his family outside the country, where they can also help make that political comeback on the international scene. I think there's a very calculated move on his part.
Okay, following that train of thought, can we expect more fierce fighting then between Gaddafi's forces and the rebels, of course backed by NATO aerial firepower?
Well, that too. Gaddafi's wife is from the Warfala tribe. There's 1 million members of that tribe there in Libya besides his own tribe, and then the El Magrahi tribe, from which the Lockerbie bomber comes from. Don't forget, some of these Arab countries have been described as nothing but tribes with a flag. This is really a tribal fight. These tribes can be rented but not bought. Like this can go back and forth, and who knows how long it'll go on.
Okay.
So you can expect a long conflict, even if Gaddafi is caught.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your analysis.
Whatever
there.
the results.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Whatever, even if Gaddafi's caught, like I said, this is probably just the first phase of a multi-phase war, just like in Afghanistan. Libya is going to look nothing like it did before the war started. NATO is in there. Like I've written in my columns, this is really a war about controlling Libyan oil supplies. They went to war against Gaddafi because they thought they were going to be cut out of future exploration deals and favored China and India, so he had to be replaced. Now, they'll tolerate the Transnational Council, NATO, as long as they can get the contracts that they wanted. They're worth billions and billions of dollars. But if the Transnational Council starts giving a problem, there will be more warfare to get rid of these people.
Okay, well, thank you for your analysis there. Stephen Brown, editor of the Front Page magazine in Toronto.